Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, The Journey to Justice. The case of Joleen Cummings that went missing, and this case is in the news. It's come to life since a year ago, and it will be coming to trial. So I'm just trying to give you guys some update on this. Don't know when it's going to be right now, but it's going to be a case to keep an eye on and watch. This mother of three has still not been found. They've been searching for her body. She is deceased, but they still have not found her body, and they've been looking in the landfills. They've been looking everywhere. Now, Kimberly Kessinger, Jennifer Seibert, whatever she wants to call herself, she has had about over 17 aliases. She's been living in all over the United States, and she uses other people's names. She has a rage in her. She might be bipolar, and she may be very sick. She's been on drugs. She's hallucinated. She hears voices, and this kind of behavior has been going on for a long time. Maybe she's psychotic, mentally ill, and has been. Something triggered in her life. Something's happened, and this is not recent. This has been over the years. She is erratic. She uses all these words like witch, the devil, Satan, cult. She has a hit list. And these names are listed. And now the investigators are thinking that this woman may be a serial killer. They're looking into missing people, people that have died, and she has connections with some of these people. She has threatened these people. She has stabbed these people, stabbed them in the chest, hit them with a baseball bat. Somewhere along the line, somewhere years ago, this woman has snapped. She disappeared off the face of the earth, just took off from her home, and her family didn't even know where she was. They didn't even report her missing for 8 years. She just took off and never got in touch with nobody. Now she wears disguises. She wears wigs. She's a hairdresser. She got the fake certificate with one of her aliases. She could not get along with people. She had rages. She wouldn't get on with the co-workers and customers. She got fired from her job. These salons that she worked at, she was fired from. Now the investigators through the year have been trying to locate people, her jobs that she worked at, to see what kind of person she was, what name she was using. She also, while she was in California, she met a guy. He fell they met and he fell in love with her and married her, divorced her, remarried her. But he said she's bipolar. This man divorced her. She had rage. I guess she beat him up or something. And he said that she used. I don't know if she's on meth, but she was using. She's had an arrest in the past. She's known by the police. She's been stopped by the police. But on the night that Joleen went missing from the salon where they both were at the time, Kimberly is the last person to see Joleen. And while she's seen on surveillance and seen in Joleen's vehicle, dropping it off from a Home Depot, and then seen dressed in black at a gas station close by. She was erratic. She was waiting for a taxi. She had the clerk call her a taxi. She goes back to the same salon, Tangler's. Apparently her vehicle is there. Now from the time Joleen was working there and left the store, somehow she left the store or was dragged out of there, or she got out of there somehow. From the time she had left that building and Kimberly parked her vehicle in the Home Depot parking lot and called for her taxi, she probably got rid of Joleen's body. Now, how much time did she have? Because they cannot find her, and they fear that she was dismembered. She dumped her body somewhere, and she has still not been found, still today, 2020. But Joleen Cummings had spoken to a co-worker and said that something's not right. Something's not right with this woman. She's not who she says she is. She said to the co-worker, she said she cannot explain it, but something about Jennifer is not right. She is not the person that she says she is. I have a feeling that something about her I don't trust. She's not who she says she is. You know, Joleen Cummings was saying this to a co-worker, and she said that she was going to look her up online and see what comes up. See if she has a criminal background, and more or less I'm gonna find out who she is. So why did Joleen have these suspicions about her? She didn't trust her. She made her nervous. She wasn't far wrong, was she? Was it fate? Was it fate? Did Kimberly, Jennifer, whatever she wants to call herself, overhear her talking and thought, she's got to go? And then, you know, Jennifer's hearing voices saying that she's a witch. I do feel myself that there's something seriously wrong with this woman. Maybe she's not insane. She's not insane, but she's needs medication. All this information they have and people talking, she's on drugs. She's hearing things, she's dreaming things, all kinds of things. She's bipolar, she's acting crazy, all these crazy thoughts going in her head. People were scared of this woman. They were scared of her, what she would do next. And people are speaking up about something that happened in their hometown about this guy. And they asked the police, well, they were called up by detectives, and then while they were having discussion, they asked the police, please look into this, because they're fearing that she is a serial killer. And she well could be a serial killer. They're like, people are saying that she struck me as being, like I said, bipolar. She had a lot of rage and anger. And so, as this case goes on, this would be an interesting one to, watch to see how this one turns out, because, as I said, she had to have a competency test, and she has been found that she can stand, been found competent to stand trial. When she was in court for a competency hearing, she, because of the quarantine that we're having, she refused to have a TB test done, and so she also has to wear a mask when she was in the courtroom, which is right, you're in the courtroom. And she is off the rocker. Now she reminds me of, she does remind me a lot of Eileen Wuornos, the serial killer in Florida. They called her the hitchhiker whore or something. But Eileen had depression, psychotic, mental problems, tried to commit suicide a few times. She shot herself in the stomach. She wanted to die. She had a lot of problems. Now Eileen went from one face to another, to another, to another. She had lost the plot. Even though she had all these death penalties against her, in the 7 people that she had been found guilty of killing, she had a test done before she got executed. And I don't know how she passed it, or how they do their test, because she's absolutely insane. When she did her last interview with Nick, the English guy, he did a documentary on her and followed her story, and Eileen liked him. She liked Nick. Nick made her laugh and brought a smile to her face. But then he also brought out the demon in her. Her eyes popped out of her head. She had the devil in her. But on their last interview with her the day before her execution. She was off her rocker. And I can't understand why a state would execute a mentally ill person, but then again they say she wasn't mentally ill at the time. But I mean, she was mentally ill. And why did she kill these men when she didn't kill hundreds of men that she had hooked up with? She just, even in between these men, she never killed every man. There's something about these men that triggered. They said something that triggered her. They asked her to do something, or they called her names. There's something that triggered her. And she shot them. And all the things that she said about the police knew that she had killed this man, but they let her go, and they let her kill, and they let her become a serial killer. They didn't stop her. But we know that's not true, but she would say really crazy stuff. Now, this woman, Kimberly, that is now accused of killing Joleen Cummings, is gone down the same path, from one picture, from one face to another picture. And look at the pictures when she was working at the salon. Look at the pictures before, and look at the pictures in her arrest photos, her bookings, and look at her now in her last hearing. She's a changed woman. Now, is she mentally ill? She looks like she's mentally ill. She looks like she has had some, she's either on medication, she doesn't care about herself. Well, mind you, she doesn't have wigs to put back on her head anymore, so she's got very thin hair. She's probably had a meltdown, but she is now competent to stand trial because she's not insane. She knows. She's competent enough to understand her legal rights, and she also asked for a lawyer. She knows what to say and do. Listen to her interviews that she has done. This woman can talk. Yes, she can. She's got to answer for everything. And so did Eileen. So I'm just going to put these two together like I did Ezra and Jodi Arias. So Eileen and Kimberly are very much like each other in their ways, mannerisms, I mean their look, their changed look. They're on drugs. Eileen's alcoholic. I don't know how many drugs she took. She's gone insane. This woman's gone insane, but it's temporary insanity induced by rage and drugs, meth, drinking, triggered by words that people say, and then they relive it in their mind, and it goes over and over and over. What did she just say to me? She talking about me? Like they hear voices in the head, and it keeps repeating this. And then they say, this person's got to go. She's the devil. She's trying to bring me down. And the last person to see Cummings was her co-worker. And she was going by Jennifer's Cyber. at that time, and she never showed up for Mother's Day on May the 13th, which is also Joleen's birthday. She was supposed to meet her ex-husband at the Winn-Dixie to pick up her 3 kids, but she never showed up. On Tuesday, May the 16th, deputies found Joleen's vehicle, SUV, abandoned at a Home Depot parking lot in Joleen, but there's no sign of Joleen. And through surveillance, investigators began piecing together Joleen's vehicle was parked at the Home Depot around 1:17 a.m. on the Sunday morning. Several minutes later, someone is seen exiting the SUV and walking away. And they were hoping that was Joleen, that she was the one that got out of this vehicle. But they said, but who do you think it was? It was Jennifer Seibert. Seibert and her vehicle, a 2016 black Kia Soul, were located at a rest area in St. Johns County on Wednesday evening on May the 16th, 2018. Parked between 2 semi-trucks. She had apparently been living in her car at various locations. Based upon some surveillance videos of her driving Joleen's car, she was arrested for grand theft auto and booked into St. Johns County Jail. And then she was brought back to Nassau County Jail. During the same press conference, Sheriff Leeper reveals that they have evidence which led them to believe Joleen is not alive. And then what a surprise, they find out Jennifer Seibert's real name is Kimberly Kessler. Date of birth, May the 9th, 1968. And she is from Butler, Pennsylvania. And she had also been using a fake security number. I mean, this Kimberly is apparently a chameleon. She's a chameleon. She'll change and she adopt a persona for a while. She pulls scams and hurts people. And then she turns up in a different area, a whole different person. I mean, she is a chameleon. She adopts. She takes on another personality, another person. She takes on identities over and over and over. This is frightening. It's a bit scary. You just don't know what you're gonna get. Life is a box of chocolates. And what has gone on? They're gonna go back to how she was in school. One of her school friends said 1 year she was fine and she come back and she was a different person. Her personality, total change. But that could be hanging around the wrong people, There could be drugs. And maybe she has just snapped. Breakdown. And she's gonna go down in history, I think, if they find out that she's a serial killer. They're thinking that she has killed before. I don't know how many people, but they're looking into it. They're looking into, like I said, people that have gone missing, that she's worked with, she's had problems with. She's had problems with a lot of people. I mean, real psychotic. And she's probably a sociopath. And people, she scared people. She's a drifter. Now she's got enough sense to look up people and choose who she's going to take on next. Whose identity can I be in this state? Who can I be in this state? I mean, when she married her husband, she was somebody different. She was somebody else. So, if you're somebody else and you marry somebody, you didn't really marry that person, right? Because you weren't really that person. So, is the marriage real or is it not real? But she settled in Florida for quite a while and moved around Florida. And so what shall we call her? She's a hairdresser with a fake name. So she is a serial psychopath hairdresser. And I doubt if she will ever be walking the streets again, because I don't know what evidence that the prosecutors have, but they have a lot. They have her in Joleen's vehicle. They have a lot. So this woman chooses to talk when she wants to and shuts her mouth when she chooses. So is she faking it? Well, she lies a lot. Until they corner her. And then she shuts up. She will keep with her story until she can't no more. Until evidence proves that her story don't match up. And she tells a good story. But it's unbelievable, the stories that she tells. It's not her fault. No, it's not her fault. It's them. They're the ones making up the lies in the stories about her. See, this is where I think she had some mental issues, you know, psychotic issues. You only have to say something to her and she didn't like it, boy, she's gonna snap. And she's coming for you. She's coming for you. And there's a lot of blood in the salon, in Tangles. There's a lot of blood. So much blood. I mean, there were scissors. She probably was attacked with either a knife, scissors, anything that you could get your hands on in a hair salon. And there's plenty of sharp scissors. There was absolutely blood everywhere in that salon. And I think Joleen was fighting for her life, trying to get out the door. But she was too much. She overpowered her. And we don't even know where she was being stabbed, because they don't have her body. She's missing. And the owner of the salon noted that there was several items missing, including a potted plant, a garbage can and tote, and security footage recorded Jennifer, as she was then, tossing these items in the woods behind the salon the night of Joleen's disappearance. And what she found weird, a tip was called in where a blue tote with a bunch of empty cleaning products was found in a dumpster. It read like a list of chemicals you use to clean up a crime scene, but was later determined to be unrelated. The list in the dumpster. So, you know, the potted plant was that used to knock her over the head with. She had a lot of cleaning up to do in that salon. How long did it take her to clean? I mean, she was cleaning the scene. Where was Joleen while she was cleaning? But there was still a lot of blood that she missed. And, you know, there's surveillance cameras. She didn't realize that. So they have her there at the salon. So there's the evidence, there's surveillance, and there's probably a lot more that's sealed in this case. There's a lot of sealed information that is in this case of her whereabouts. And why didn't she get on with Joleen? Well, why did Joleen feel that she is not the person she says she is? There must have been a reason. She must have said something. Maybe she was talking to herself, you know, under her breath, and she heard her talking to herself, like she's talking to imaginary friends in her head. You know, you can see her in the photos of the last, this was the last day that Jennifer, you know, Kimberly, was working. And on her hand, there is no injuries to her hand or to her face. But there was later in surveillance when she went to the gas station to ask the clerk to call her a taxi. There was marks on her then. And this was probably Joleen fighting for her life, because you know she was trying. But Kimberly was frantic and wanted to hurt her and was not scared. And she was out to kill her. She was, in my opinion, allegedly. And how did she think she was going to get away with it? She obviously didn't have a plan, but she thought she was going to get away with it because she used a fake name. But you can't get away with your photo. It's still your face. Even if you're using a different identity, it's still your face. I mean, why didn't they do something before when she was caught with a fake passport and a fake name? I don't know if she had any friends or she just was a loner. She's got a boyfriend that she came up with this story that it might be in her head, I don't know, that she was hiding from him and that she had to do all this stuff online because he was going to find her. I mean, she's scamming people. And using stories like she's running from abusive people, abusive men. Maybe she was abused by them. Well, if you've got anger problems like you have and you're on drugs, yeah, you're gonna be fighting with people. I don't know what this boyfriend's got to say, the ex-boyfriend, the man she talks about. I'm sure he has been interviewed and he has plenty to say about her history, her violence, her criminal profile, the con artist. That she is. And she kept this up for lots of years. She kept it up. Now they have her phone records, they have all kinds of things. And they have like a list of people. Was this a list of people that from years back that she kept? Was it, this is why they think she may have killed before and she could be a serial killer. Because she has a hit for them too. She dislikes them. She has names for them. Now these people live in different states. And these people probably live in the states that she lived in. And so guys, that's a little bit about her. Now when she has her trial, who's going to be a character witness for her? It seems like people don't even know who she is, but they know of her. They've been a victim of her. And is she going to take the stand? She's obviously pleading not guilty to all these charges against her. But she cannot lie about her aliases, her identity, anything like that. And now there may be a baby involved in this. You see, something was mentioned, and a baby boy was mentioned. Now, maybe she was pregnant, had a baby, and then had very, very bad depression after it, that it broke her. What happened to this baby? If it's true, did the baby die? Did she kill the baby? Is she grieving over this baby? Did she have a breakdown from it? Because there's a lot of people that do. So there might be a baby involved in this. Was this baby given up for adoption under one of her aliases? She obviously doesn't have a baby or a kid with her now, but she could have had a baby, and that could have sent her psychotic. And we'll have to see if this story is true. And doctors can tell if you've had a baby or not, if you've been pregnant or not. They can tell if you've given birth before. So that's a little about this one. I'm gonna stay on this one only because she's a little bit different, you know, crazy. There's something crazy about this one. Interesting to see her story, her life, and we'll probably find out how crazy she was and is. You know, she's just gonna deny. But that's her right. But she sure knows what she's saying and doing, because she can give orders to her lawyer. And that's it, guys. And I'll see you in the next video about this trial. And you should go and listen to the videos out there in the news and get to know her a little bit before the trial comes. And she also was known as, like I say, they called her Jen, but I think that might be short for Jennifer. And so, thank you guys for stopping by, and don't forget to like and share if you like, and sub to my channel, and press that notification bell so you can be updated on this case, the upcoming trial, the missing, the lost, solved by DNA, and just a reminder, there are many, many people out there that are still missing today. Missing persons, unsolved cases, And these people need a shout out. Let the public remind them that these people are still missing. And there are missing cases that I have done in the past, and they are still missing today. So thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you in the comments.
He is being dangerous with some delusional and paranoid components. Her behavior was sporadic and bizarre. She did this major change of personality.
In interviews with detectives, childhood friends describe a young Kimberly Kessler.
I tried to stay off of Kim's radar because, quite honestly, she was a scary individual.
An ex-boyfriend describes alleged physical attacks.
She bit your dad in the leg, and she stabbed you in the chest.
And an ex-husband says he also had a close call.
I heard something about she had stabbed you with some scissors. Can you tell me about that?
No, they feel great. You can put them on cider if you want.
Other evidence shows Kessler's internet browsing history for 3 weeks leading up to Joleen Cummings' disappearance. Searches about female murderers, post-mortem bodies, psychosis, and mind-controlling drugs. The only day she didn't use the internet was on May 11th, the day before Cummings was reported missing. On May 16th, the day before Kessler was arrested, she spent 8 hours searching Joleen Cummings' name. Surveillance video shows Kessler at a Flash Foods gas station on May 12th, the day Cummings was reported missing. She appears to have injuries to her face that mirror the injuries that are photographed 6 days later when she would be arrested.
You know, I was just wondering how you're going to be, at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared. I'm all right. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it, but like I said, remember, let them know that I know that the cops knew who I was after Richard Mallory died. I left prints everywhere, and they covered it up. And let me kill the rest of those guys to turn me into a serial killer. I know they did, because I was no professional serial killer or anything, murderer, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't special at what I was doing.
Eileen,
Did some sloppy work, and I left
how
prints.
have you prepared yourself?
So I'm thinking that probably had the TV rigged. The TV or the mirror, something was rigged. They got a huge satellite on the compound. After they put the huge satellite on the compound, it could have been either rigged to the TV set or the mirror or something, because the electrician, when he put the mirror on the wall, he said, "Doesn't that look like a computer?" The back of it, and they stuck it to the wall.
And do you think, did that affect your mind, do you think?
Huh?
Did that affect your mind in some way, the sonic?
It was crushing my head, and they were using sonic pressure continually. Then when I had 3 meetings with Miss Villacorta on it, every meeting I had, she increased the pressure of the volume of the comm, increased the harassment on the floor, increased the trays being inedible, just increased every bit of my complaints and trashed all grievances. They're trying to make it look like I was crazy at all times, rig up the room with torture. If I said anything about I think their whole plan was trying to make it look like I was totally crazy, and so nobody would believe anything I had to say about anything, and then drive me there if they could. I suffered so bad. I was really struggling to survive. Had a lot of trays that were attempted murder and everything. I had to wash all my food off. And then one day I didn't wash my food off, and I was sick for 3 weeks, almost died.
But you're okay now.
I'm okay. I'm okay. God is going to be there. Jesus Christ is going to be there. All the angels and everything. And, whatever's on the beyond. I think it's going to be more like Star Trek, beaming me up into a space vehicle, man. Then I move on, recolonize to another planet or whatever. But it's whatever's the beyond. I know it's going to be good because I didn't do anything as wrong as they said. I did the right thing. And I saved a lot of people's butts from getting hurt and raped and killed too.
So are you saying that you killed in self-defense or in cold blood? What do you, because you've changed your story. I'm just trying to
What are you
understand.
talking about? Change the story on what?
No, about whether it was self-defense or not.
I'm not going to say it. You know, I'm not going to get in depth about my cases, Nick. I'm on my way to the chamber. Doesn't stop in it. You can believe it or you don't have to believe it. That's up to you, man. Put a big question mark on your film.
What more is there to say about the cops? What more do you want to say about the cops?
A lot of stuff. Did you know that they were surveilling me before I killed? And then I knew it? And that it was covered up? Did you know there was helicopters dropping down from the sky, deputy sheriff, with decoys picking me up 4 or 5 months before my arrest? It was covered up?
But nonetheless,
Nobody ever asked me these questions.
whether the cops were following you or not, Eileen.
Oh, whether the cops were following me or not, Eileen,
okay,
what?
let's say the cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say they were following you
Uh-huh.
and they did everything that you're saying they did.
Uh-huh.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
you killed 7 men.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
did.
asking you, what got you to kill the 7
And
men?
I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you
But
get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people. So there must have been something in you that was getting you to
Oh,
do
you
that.
are lost, Nick.
So
I was a
explain-
hitchhiking hooker.
Right.
Running into trouble. I shoot the guy if I ran into trouble. Physical trouble. The cops knew it. When the physical trouble came along, let her clean the streets. And then we'll pull her in.
But how
That's
come
why.
there was so much physical trouble in because it was all in 1 year. 7 people in 1
Oh,
year.
well. Oh, well.
But why not say now?
Because I'm out of retaliation for taking my life like this and getting rich off it all these years in total pathological lying. Yeah, thanks a lot. I lost my fucking life because of it. Couldn't even get a fair trial. Couldn't even get a fair investigation or nothing. Couldn't even have my appeals right. You sabotaged my ass, society, and the cops, and the system. A raped woman got executed. It was used for books and movies and shit. Ladder climbs, the election, everything else. I got a big finger in all your faces, thanks a lot. You're an inhumane bunch of fucking living bastards and bitches, and you're gonna get your asses nuked in the end. And pretty soon it's coming. 2019, a rock's supposed to hit you anyhow. You're all gonna get nuked. You don't take fucking human life like this and just sabotage and rip it apart like Jesus on the cross and say thanks a lot for all the fucking money I made off of you. And not care about a human being and the truth being told. Now I know what Jesus was going through. They've been trying to tell the truth, and I keep getting it stepped on. Concerned about if I was raped, I'm not giving you book and movie info. I'm giving you info for investigations and stuff, and that's it. We're gonna have to cut this interview, Nick. I'm not going to go into any more detail. I'm leaving. I'm glad. Thanks a lot, society, for railroading my